They called him Monster, Earthquake, Error's End. But ask any man who ate at his table, they never called him king. They called him Father. He never asked the sea for crowns. He only asked, will you stay? A chair on a loud old deck, a place to put your scars away. He wore a flag like shelter, not a thread to cross the foam. Every wound that marked his skin just spelled the word, come home. He could have sailed for one piece first, but chose a different chart. Not treasure in a cavern, just a family in his heart. He called stray son, and many more than bloodlines ever did. Turned orphans into brothers, with a laugh that never hid. If the world calls that a monster, what do you call the men who leave? If a beard of white can hold an age, what do you call the ones who cleave? To us he was not earthquake, not emperor, not war-torn name. He was the hand that touched our heads and said, you're mine all the same. He was the deck that took our weight when every shore said you don't belong. He was the throat that shouted my son above a world that called us wrong. You can write him down as legend, pirate, devil, any other. We will etch just one small word in our bones instead. Father. Ace came carrying a rumor in his veins he could not bear. Son of the man who shook the age and left his name in every prayer. He asked, should I have been born, and waited for the sea to judge. The old man took that burning weight and answered with a simple no more grudge. He said, you are my son, as if the past could hear and break. Turned a curse into a surname only family could take. Every cup we raised at night was one more funeral undone. Every laugh on Moby Dick was proof that nobody's can be son. If heaven never held you, but one man held your shame until it bled, tell me which one taught you home? The gods are what that old man said. For fear, he was the back we stood behind when justice drew its sword too near. He was the shield that faced the cannons so our futures could stay long. He was the voice that called us child in a world that screamed we're wrong. You can stamp him as a criminal, a name for history to smother. We will whisper just one word in the spaces he once filled. Father. Teach sat laughing at our table with a hunger in his eyes. The one son even fatherhood could not turn from quiet lies. When he cut down thatch and ran, the deck forgot how to breathe. The old man took that betrayal like a blade beneath his sleeve. At Marineford he stood alone while heaven loaded every gun. An arrow aimed at one old chest for the crime of loving just one son. He took volcano through the ribs, and still he chose to stand, not kneel. Turned his body into walls so we could live what he could feel. When the spears and cannons finally broke the mountain of his frame, he died with scars on every front. till he was born. If father is a bloodline, why did orphans learn the word from him? If monsters rule the seas, why do our eyes turn soft when they grow dim? To us he was not earthquake, not new era, must replace the old. He was the man who held our night so we could learn to dream in gold. He was the harbor built from flesh so broken hearts could come and die. He was the one who called us family when the world just called us shock. Write his name in any language, devil legend, one more other, but on every scar he left inside our lives it spells the same word, Father. They will say an era ended when his heart fell quiet in the smoke. They will count the craters, measure damage, argue what his death awoke. Let them talk of balance, power, how the map was torn apart after his fall. We were just children on a ship who once heard a giant laugh and felt safe at last. Whatever else they call them in their books and wars, we know what we lost that day was not a weapon or a wall. We lost the man who taught a boat full of broken strangers how to say one dangerous word without fear.